Greetings, today is July the 18th of 2020. I make mistakes. This video is going to set the record straight on a topic that I've actually covered in the past. If you saw my way more about the PKE meter than you ever wanted to know video, I made one erroneous assumption in there. I took this piece of information and this piece of information and I made a leap that was working without the complete picture. And when the 2019 Blu-ray came out, we discovered, oh, wait a minute. That referred to this and this don't go together. So I'm going to kind of try to correct some mistakes in this video. Some of it may sound familiar because it was covered in the PKE meter video. I have been planning all throughout quarantine to go back and recut that video. I got some of the movie clips in higher quality now. And in the back of my brain, I was like, well, the piece we're taking out would almost make a cool standalone video now if only I had a visual aid to bring up in that video. And thanks to Loren White, now I have one. Almost 5 years ago, September 7th, 2015, a post by Ownarest on the GB Fans Forums board showed us some storyboards from the Fort Detmerring dream sequence. One of the notations on a storyboard that really caught my eye seemed at first glance to say Gaspars Meter. Who are you gonna call?
Someone else.
Now, I gotta admit, the idea of calling a piece of Ghostbusters tech a Gaspar meter sounded pretty cool to me, lawsuits notwithstanding. But upon closer inspection, that was not the letter C, it was clearly the letter G. Gaspars Meter. What's a Gaspars Meter? Well, you see, the special effects supervisor for Ghostbusters was a guy named Chuck Gaspar. Yeah, he spells it with an A, but if you look throughout all 28 of the storyboards, you'll find a lot of typos, including Ray Stantz's last name. Even though the sketch in the storyboard didn't really look much like the finished PKE, I was the one who erroneously assumed that it would have been a PKE meter in that shot. And if you've ever read the book Silence of the Lambs, and it might be in the movie too, I haven't seen the movie in a while, or if you knew my dad, then you know what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me both. Because as the Blu-ray deleted scene from the Fort Detmerring sequence showed, that wasn't a PKE meter at all. And that's where Loren White enters this story for the first time. Loren got to see some of that footage early out at FanFest, and then when the Blu-ray came out, it only took him about a week to A, identify what that piece of equipment was made from, and B, replicate one. So when Loren and I aren't talking about 1/18th scale model cars used for the Stay Puft sequence at the end of the movie, our second most frequent topic of conversation is the Lamars conductivity meter that was used to form the prop in the movie, which, for lack of anything better to call it, we've decided to just go with the storyboard notation and call it a Gaspars meter. Now, I don't know where he finds these things. He's found at least 2, maybe 3 of them. And a weird thing happened to me a few days ago. It was one night after I got in from work, and I was going through certain saved searches on eBay for things that I had now obtained and deleting them. And a little voice in the back of my head said, do a search for a Lamars. And I didn't do it. I get up the next morning, I saw my emails, there was no hit for a Lamars conductivity meter, and I just went about my business. Hours later, I see a message from him that morning. I think this was when I was working on repairing a toilet at my mom's house. And I come back home and I see this message, and he says, did you see the Lamars listing this morning? I'm like, no. I start immediately searching for it, and he's showing me pictures from this auction that had popped up. And I was like, is it gone? Did somebody buy it? Is it there? And he goes, well, I bought it. What's your address? He bought it for me. I mean, how cool is that? Not only did the guy identify the prop within days of the footage first being seen, not only did he replicate it, but he remembered that I was searching for one, and he had my back on a morning that I was elsewhere occupied and I didn't see the auction myself. I should have listened to that little voice in the back of my head, but I've got friends who are covering my back, and I have to say a big thank you to them for that. So let's cut into this little piece. Ironically enough, it was in the same state as me. It has arrived from Trans-American Equipment Company in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I was tracking it all day yesterday, and I was prepping my video clips and my still photos to make this very video. And it arrived at like 11:40 a.m. When I went to shoot the actual unboxing portion of the video, camera battery was dead. And there was not enough time to charge it and then get to work. So I have had to postpone this video until this morning. So little glance in there under the lovely top layer. Packing peanuts. And inside, all right, Lamont Chemical Products Company. And Loren was a little bit concerned about one detail on here. The plastic windows, he said, are very prone to cracking in transit. Looks like this one's okay to me. Oh, you beauty. Now here's the funny thing. Beginning in about 2016 at least, over on the Replica Prop Forum, I had noticed some stuff on the table in the Twinkie scene of Ghostbusters, and I said, does anybody know what these two items are? One of them was this. Yeah, this item isn't just in a deleted scene, it actually appears in the movie like 5 times once you know what you're looking for. Now, the last piece of gear that's on the table in the basement during the Twinkie scene that I really, really need is this thing. I've got pretty much everything else in that scene. So if anybody knows what that is, please let me know. So let's see what else was in here. I've got a Tell True thermometer. I don't know, that I wouldn't put that under my tongue or anywhere else. And then this plug piece that I'm assuming goes in one of these 2 ports. Too wiggly in that one. So yeah, it must go in that one there. Now, mine has 2 ports on the front. I think the one in the movie only has 1. I think Loren, to make a movie accurate one, had to combine 2. I'd have to look it up and make sure. Also, Glenn Frederick pointed out something interesting in Loren's thread on GB Fans entitled Gaspars Meter that he created back in October of last year. In May of this year, Glenn pointed out that there must be 2 Gaspars meters, Lamont conductivity meters, owned by the Ghostbusters, because if the deleted scene was interpolated into its natural position according to the script, then while they are at Fort Detmerring with one, there is the other one visible on the table at the firehouse. So it looks like I just need to add the blinking light on there, and I may just leave it like it is. I mean, that's so cool looking by itself. I don't even know if I'm going to strive for movie accuracy at this point. So that is, thank you so much. That is such a wonderful surprise, and I do very much appreciate it. All right. Now I need to finish re-editing my PKE meter video now that we've done the standalone topic on the Gaspars meter, which is not a PKE meter. It's this. It's a Lamont. Thanks a lot. Thank you to Loren, and thanks to all of you for watching. Thank you to my stomach for waiting until I was done to growl like that. Well, you see, the special effects supervisor for Ghostbusters was a guy named Chuck Gaspar. Yes, he spells it with an A, and yes, my refrigerator is making that annoying noise right now. Sounds like a woodpecker. You done? Okay.